Hello, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I wish I had something more exciting for you right now, but we are probably like you are waiting for something to happen. But I see a little bit of hope, a glimmer of hope. So I'm sure you guys are doing the same thing. We're just, waiting for the euro dollar to see what it's going to do here. Frankly, I am looking for a move back up towards 120.50 first. Just like a move like that before, another move towards the trend line or the 120 level. Personally, that's what I'm thinking, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's just what I'm thinking is going to happen. I just, if you guys know, for all the reasons, everybody's watching 120. It's a psychological number. It's the breakout point. It's the, it's the trend line. There's so many reasons why everybody's watching this number that it's probably going to hold, at least for now. That's probably one of the reasons why we're not seeing any currency movement. I know I explained that to you guys earlier, but that's really the case right now. I mean, you're not going to get any movement with other currencies, at least not a lot, while you're seeing this happen. We are seeing a move higher in the US dollar Mexican peso, which that's pretty surprising considering the fact that the US dollar Mexican peso was trading so heavy the last couple of days. And maybe there's a reason for that. What do you think the reason is for that? Well, if you look at equities, we are, obviously we had a big recovery, but you can see there's some weakness below the surface. We spiked lower, we've recovered, but that doesn't mean that the stock market's out of the woods yet. If I had to guess, and this is just me guessing, again, it's best we can do at these levels, but my guess would be is we're doing something like this. And we might, I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow, over the course of the next few days, do this, back up, and that type of thing. Okay. I think that's what we're doing. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. So let me remove this really quick. I venture to guess that that's what we're doing. So if that's happening, and you start to see a little bit of selling in equities over the course of the next, 24, 48 hours, I think the US dollar Mexican peso might be one of those clues letting us know that might be the risk moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So Chad said run on avocados for the weekend. Yes, that's right. It's going to be a run on avocados. That's why the Mexican peso is so weak. That's it. Never a dull moment with Chad. I just say that. Let's take a look at anything else that's happening. The Kiwi surprisingly is weak. I know anybody who bought the Kiwi that bought it last night, they were looking at this, move above 72 cents. They're like, strong employment, breakout in the Kiwi. They didn't realize that they were running into, wedge resistance. And I'm sure that right now they're going, oh crap, why am I even long this damn thing right now? And I'm sure that's what they're thinking at this moment, being long Kiwi dollars. They're like, this shouldn't be happening. So watch the Kiwi. That's not trading super good right now. The Aussie is just kind of sitting there. We made a little bit of a sell-off from yesterday, and we've recovered. We're just consolidating. I still think that the Aussie is moving lower while we are below this the 76, 50, 76, 60 level. I think that we're just going to continue to trade a little heavier, a little bit more offered. Dollar Canadians bouncing around. I think one of the reasons why the dollar Canadian has been so weak today has been this massive move in crude. Crude oil, like when crude broke on I want to say Friday. On Friday, I think is where we closed. Let me see. Yeah, we closed. No. It was Monday. We closed higher, and I'm like, man, that looks like it might break out. And, it has. I don't trade crude, but I was like, oh, geez, it's really taken off. But that's one thing that's holding back the dollar Canadian. But I have to say this about the dollar CAD. Let's just take a step back for a moment. Based on where stocks are at and based on where crude's at, you put those two together, the dollar Canadian, I'm surprised, is holding well above 127. I'd actually think that the dollar Canadian would be back at 126, if not lower. So either we're going to play some catch up with the dollar Canadian and we're going to start pressing lower again towards 127, or this thing's about ready to make a move towards 129. And that, obviously that has more to do with stocks and crude, but if stocks and crude roll over, we're probably heading to 129 in the dollar Canadian. So I have to say it's holding up. And even if you look at just look for the last few minutes, this is the dollar Canadian the last 45 minutes. Here's crude oil the last 45 minutes. So you see the direct response that we're getting from a relationship standpoint. Crude sells off, dollar Canadian starts to firm. And that, the same could be said for the US dollar Norwegian krone. I mean, this thing's holding up really well. I mean, look at this base it's been building here. Personally, I think the US dollar Norwegian krone is going a lot higher, with the dollar Canadian. But, we do need crude oil to come down and stocks to come down in order for that to happen. And in this case, if you're dealing with the US dollar Norwegian krone, you got to see a break of the euro back below 120, and then that will accelerate this move here, above the 866 level. I thought it might happen today, but then again, I thought, the euro dollar might break 120. And that's not to say that the euro is not out of the woods, even though I think that the euro can push back up to 120.50. We could be sitting here by the end of the day and the euro's trading below 120. It just starts whacking stops. Came really close today a couple of different times. So, if you're long the euro, don't think you're, in the clear or out of the woods yet. Okay. All right, guys. Other than that, we are just really waiting for something to happen. Today was, I was hoping that today might see a little bit more activity, especially with equities breaking down a little earlier. But I guess the clue to the equity markets not breaking down today, like if you saw the equity market selling off earlier, one of the clues that would have told you we're not breaking down yet is that the dollar didn't strengthen. So, I think that they have to happen in unison, really. All right, guys and gals. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Happy Wednesday, and I hope things pick up towards the end of the day, but you never know. They may. All right, guys, have a great one, and thanks everybody for tuning in.